When starting a new project, one of the things that you need to decide is how you'll track your work in progress. And here is where task management systems like Jira come into play. In the next few minutes, I'm gonna show you how to spin up a new Scrum project in Jira Cloud from scratch and start using it immediately for tracking your project work. First of all, you need to log in or register if you don't have a Jira account yet. For the purpose of this video, I'll use my personal account. Once you log in, go to the Projects tab. From there you can click on Create Project button and select the type of projects that you want to start. I'll use a Scrum project. Here we can see ticket types that we have out of the box in this template and also really simple workflow which we'll customize later. Here I'll choose a company managed type of project because it gives better control in its administration. And finally choose a project name. At this point you can also invite team members, which of course you can do later. Now that our project is created, we can go to the project settings to configure the work items. On the left panel, go to Work Item Types menu. Here we have a standard types of issues based on Scrum Jira template we chose earlier. It looks good out of the box with epic stories, task bugs and defects. So I'm gonna add one more tickets type, the feature, because it's quite often used in Scrum projects. Click on the action and choose Edit and then move the feature to your work items with drag and drop. Now click on the workflow and there we're going to add a separate workflow for the features. Workflow defines statuses and transitions between them. I'm gonna select Add existing workflow and choose a classic default workflow, which is very close to what we need in terms of statuses, so it's quite easy to customize it. The only status I would add here is cancelled. For that I click on Edit Workflow button and select that status. I type cancelled and set this checkbox to ensure that we can cancel the feature from any status. Now it looks good to me, so I save changes by clicking a Publish Draft button. Now let's edit the workflow for the rest of the work items. I click Edit Workflow button again and I click Switch to the new editor. The new editor is more flexible and easy to use. First I remove everything between to do and done and I'm gonna add exact statuses I'll need. These are in progress, ready for QA, in testing and in acceptance. Next, I'll need to set up transitions between them. I want transitions to be done in a strict order, so I allow moving tickets from acceptance to done, from in testing to acceptance, from ready for QA to in testing, from in progress to ready for QA, and from to do to in progress. Also, I need to allow moving tickets back to do status from testing and from in progress statuses. And I'll add cancel status the same way we did it for the features, and then I click Update Workflow to save changes. Next, I wanna add a custom field story points to the work items. For this I go to the work item types and click Edit Issue Types. Then I click Custom Fields on the left panel and type story points in the search, because story points is existing custom field in Jira. Then go to the screen and click Associate, select Default Issue Screen so that this field appears for your work items layout. And then I click Update. Now let's create some tickets. Click on Create button on the top and let's start with the Epic. Epic is a logical container for related feature or stories. Let's assume we implement a user management module of the new application, so we call the epic appropriately. Now we open Created Epic and click Add to add child work items. Let's add a story to build a backend API endpoint with .NET application and JWT. And now let's add some more tickets with some estimates and story points. Okay, now that we have sample tickets created, let's start to plan our releases and sprints. Go to Releases tab and click on Create Version. Type the version name and specify start and release dates. You can create some more versions as needed. Each version corresponds to one release. In our example, I'm using 4 weeks releases, which corresponds to 2 sprints, which means that I plan to have a release each second sprint. Now when I have few versions created, let's go to the backlog tab and create sprints. By default, you already have the first sprint created, and you can create some more by clicking Create Sprint button on the top right of the backlog. Each sprint should have a start and end dates, which you can edit. Now let's add the work items to the first sprint. For this you can either set a sprint field on the ticket, or just drag and drop some tickets from the backlog. After you added the tickets to the sprints, you are finally ready to start your sprint. For this, just click a Start Sprint button on the top right of the sprint. Then your Scrum board will display your current active sprint. By default, it has really simple workflow with only 3 columns, which we are going to customize by going to Board Settings menu. Expand Layout menu and click on the columns. Here we need to add new columns corresponding to statuses of our workflow. We can map several statuses of the same category to the one column. Now our board is fully ready for the Scrum workflow we set up. To check how it works, you can drag and drop items between the columns, and work item statuses will change accordingly. Transitions between columns will be restricted based on the workflow we configured earlier. To check how your ticket statuses impact the sprint progress, you can open Reports and select Burn Down. You can move few tickets to Done, and depending on the story points, the red remaining scope line will be burned down accordingly. That's it! As you can see, it took us just few minutes to spin up a new Scrum project in the Jira Cloud from scratch. Also, it's been really simplistic setup, and your real project may require some further customizations related to workflows or some additional custom fields. Now you know already where this all could be found and configured. Hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please drop me a comment, and see you in the next videos. Cheers!